With Tiana making her return with her own series on Disney+, we wanted to revisit the Disney classic and see how all the characters stack up when it comes to morality. This is The Princess and the Frog, Good to Evil. As usual, we'll be starting with the most noble character and working our way down to the most evil. These characters are the good, and the gold medal of good has to go to James and Eudora, the parents of Tiana. When Tiana was growing up, James was known to be a loving family man and a World War I soldier who risked his life on the battlefield. He gave up his dream of having his own restaurant to provide for his family, and he even encouraged his daughter to follow her own dreams, inspiring her to become the hardworking young woman that we all know. Even though we don't see James very much throughout the movie, we know that he was a selfless man. And as for Tiana's mother, she worries that Tiana focuses too much on working and her dream, rather than her own well-being, and even tells her that she should find a good man to settle down with. But regardless of her daughter's driven ambitions, Eudora just wants her to be happy, and that's really all that any parent could want for their kid. The silver medal of good has to go to Mama Odie, also known as the voodoo queen of the Bayou. She is a blind 197-year-old voodoo priestess who is sweet, eccentric, and wise.
Want to be human, but you're blind to what you need.
She helps Tiana and Naveen become human again. She also challenges them to dig deeper within themselves and find out their real desires other than what they initially came to see her for. It eventually brings them together after Tiana finally realizes her romantic feelings for Naveen in the third act of the film. With Mama Odie's great help in the movie and wisdom that stretches past the screen, she definitely deserves this silver medal. And the bronze medal of good has to go to Ray, a Cajun firefly with a romantic infatuation with the evening star, whom he calls Evangeline.
The most prettiest firefly ever did glow.
Ray is the bravest firefly with the biggest heart. He acted as a father figure to Tiana many times throughout the film, especially when she believed that Naveen did get married to Charlotte in the third act, initially unaware of the fact that Dr. Facilier and Lawrence were behind the ruse. He also helped fight off the frog hunters attacking Tiana and Naveen, and he fought Dr. Facilier's shadow demons after he gave the talisman to Tiana. He's willing to take a bullet for his loved ones no matter how small he is. Rest in peace, Ray. Finally, our next spot has to go to Tiana. Tiana is a gifted cook who's worked nearly her entire life to save up enough money to open up her own restaurant. Although hardworking and determined, she can also be a bit uptight and too absorbed in work ethic to focus on relaxing, as well as her family and friends, especially after nearly getting taken advantage of by the Fenner brothers. It got to the point where she kissed Naveen as a frog out of desperation to make her dream a reality. However, when Tiana is finally face to face with Dr. Facilier, she realizes that she's not willing to take his offer to achieve her dream and breaks the talisman for good. She's also heroic and capable in dangerous situations, such as when she continuously rescues Naveen from life-threatening situations throughout the movie. Tiana was definitely raised well by her parents, like father, like daughter. Moving on to Luis, a friendly yet neurotic alligator who wants to become human and play the trumpet in a jazz band without scaring off humans for his ferocious appearance. When Luis meets Tiana and Naveen, he helps them meet Mama Odie so that they can become human again. After Ray is mortally wounded by the Shadow Man, Luis carries him to the duo to hear his last words before he dies. This shows that he's caring and would never leave him behind. A fundamentally good character all around, though we have to award him the Gluttony Sinner Medal for his constant appetite and love for food.
Crawfish smothered in remoulade sauce.
Next up is Big Daddy LaBeouf. He is the wealthiest and most powerful man in New Orleans, but what ranks him so high in this list is that he is jovial and friendly towards everyone else. He's eager to fund smaller businesses, which shows that he's very generous with his wealth. And he's also nice to Tiana, having been good friends with her mom for many years. That said, he can be a pushover, especially when it comes to his daughter, Charlotte. This is due to the fact that she constantly exploits his fortune for her own obsessions, such as lavish dresses.
Ooh, I want that dress!
Nonetheless, he has a warm heart and doesn't show ill will to anyone, regardless of their socioeconomic background. Next up, we have to talk about Prince Naveen. Unlike Tiana, Naveen has lived a life of royal privilege as the eldest prince of Moldonia.
Prince of Maldonia.
Due to everything being done for him, he is initially lazy, spoiled, and vain, making him a very easy winner of the Sloth Sinner Medal. After his parents cut him off for his laziness and excessive partying, his plan was to marry Charlotte so that he can continue to live a wealthy lifestyle. He would also tend to put the blame on others and refuses to admit his own mistakes. especially when he got tricked into taking Dr. Facilier's offer, only to be turned into a frog. His initial shallow desire for a life of pleasure and parties earns him the Lust Sinner Medal. That said, when he clashes with Tiana on their journey to meet Mama Odie, he realizes that there is much more to life than partying. He's capable of being humble when he learns how much Tiana's dream truly means to her. As a result of rubbing off on each other for the better, Naveen grows kinder and far more considerate and learns the value of humility. Below Big Daddy LaBeouf is his daughter and Tiana's best friend, Charlotte. Charlotte has been given everything she wants by her dad and thus gained a spoiled and shallow personality, especially when it comes to dreaming of marrying a prince and living a storybook life.
Did you say prince?
But despite being self-centered, she does have a good heart and loves Tiana like a sister. When she realizes that Tiana and Naveen are in love with each other, she's willing to give up her own quest for love so that Tiana can be happy, and that's what we call true friendship. Moving towards the bottom of the good section, we have Charlotte's basset hound, Stella. The only reason that Stella is ranked so low in the good section is because we don't really know much about her as a minor character. But what we do know is that she loves Tiana's beignets and begs to give her one. She also talks to Tiana when she chases her and Naveen as frogs on the table. Stella is a sweet and very curious dog. And before we round out the good section, we're also going to throw in Mama Odie's pet snake, Juju. Simply because of the fact that Juju doesn't even talk and he's only seen being a personal assistant to Mama Odie. He helps her with tasks such as adding Tabasco sauce to her gumbo, and that's about it. And with the good section wrapped up, we're actually going to skip the gray area and move right into the bad and evil category. But first, this video is brought to you by Wicked Binge channel memberships. You can gain access to our videos early before anyone else, plus get members-only emojis and loyalty badges by supporting the channel through a membership. Starting with the Fenner brothers. The Fenner brothers are two real estate agents who initially refused to sell Tiana the sugar mill because someone else was offering to pay for it in cash, and also because they believed that Tiana could not manage a business due to her, quote,
background.
which is really what solidified dropping them from a gray area ranking to the bad section. Even though they finally sold the sugar mill to her under duress from Lewis, that still doesn't change how unfair and disrespectful they were to Tiana. Next are Ian and Marlon, two wild and hot-tempered alligators who try to eat Tiana and Naveen as frogs. While they only have one brief scene in the film, Ian and Marlon would have eaten the duo and killed them if they hadn't escaped. Then there's Reggie, Darnell, and Two Fingers, a trio of frog hunters who are also known to be the Three Stooges of the film. They capture Tiana as a frog, only for her to be saved by Naveen due to their stupidity. But even if they didn't kill the duo, they would have captured and murdered other frogs. Luckily, they don't seem to be coming back anytime soon. The Bronze Medal of Evil has to go to Lawrence, Prince Naveen's valet. Lawrence is recruited by Dr. Facilier in a scheme by using a blood charm to transform and look like Naveen. Lawrence is driven by greed, desiring wealth, power, and status that he feels he has been denied.
Yes, I am.
Easily earning him the Greed Sinner Medal. His willingness to betray Naveen and align with Dr. Facilier showcases his greedy nature, and his jealousy of Naveen also earns him the Envy Sinner Medal. Not only does he take part in the Shadow Man's scheme to get revenge on Naveen for being treated like a slave, he also deceives Charlotte with his appearance as the prince to try to marry her. Regardless of how guilty Lawrence initially felt for betraying Naveen, his actions have caused just as much unnecessary harm. The Silver Medal for Most Evil goes to none other than Dr. Facilier, also known as the Shadow Man. We rank him here for carrying out his scheme to kill Big Daddy and rule New Orleans, with the help of his friends from the other side.
He's got friends on the other side.
As the Witch Doctor, he uses his tricks to manipulate Prince Naveen and Lawrence by convincing them that he will make their dreams come true, only for Naveen to be turned into a frog and Lawrence to be given a talisman that changes his appearance to look like Naveen. As the story progresses, he gets help from his friends on the other side to capture Naveen, and kills Ray by a single footstep. He also tries to tempt Tiana and convince her that he'll give her restaurant success as his final attempt to retrieve the talisman, only leading to his demise when she refuses the offer. Though his arrogance and overconfidence in his abilities and plans lead to his eventual downfall, this is also what earns him our Pride Sinner Medal. He believes he can manipulate others and control powerful dark forces without consequence. But Dr. Facilier is still outmatched by his friends from the other side, who definitely take the Gold Medal of Evil. They're in an evil league of their own, far surpassing even Dr. Facilier in their malevolence. While Dr. Facilier is certainly no saint with his smooth-talking, scheming ways, he's more of a middleman, a desperate opportunist looking to climb the social ladder through dark magic. His ambition, though twisted, is still somewhat understandable. He's a human trying to make his way in a world that's left him out on the margins. The friends on the other side, on the other hand, are pure, unfiltered evil. These shadowy entities aren't motivated by anything so pedestrian as personal gain or power. No, they thrive on chaos, deceit, and ultimately, the complete destruction of those who dare to summon them. Their help comes with strings attached, strings that are more like chains, dragging their victims into the abyss once they've outlived their usefulness. And for this reason, they easily earn the Wrath Sinner Medal. Their ultimate betrayal of Dr. Facilier, dragging him to the underworld when he can't fulfill his end of the bargain, demonstrates their ruthless nature. They never cared about Facilier's ambitions or his promises. They were merely waiting for the moment when they could enact the ultimate price. In the end, they're more evil than Dr. Facilier because they embody an ancient elemental malevolence that goes above and beyond mere human flaws. They are the power that lurks behind every bad deal and every desperate grab for power, ready to pull anyone foolish enough to deal with them into their eternal grasp.